So we all know about the regular Nintendo Direct that we all saw for the most part yesterday, and it was good and everything. We saw a lot of stuff on Splatoon and ARMS, all kinds of stuff. But you guys may not have known that there was another Nintendo Direct that also happened, but was based more around the Japanese releases. So of course they saw things like Dragon Quest X, Dragon Quest XI, stuff like that. But there was also one game that they showed that I think caught a lot of people off guard, considering the general audience that Nintendo tries to push. But we did also see Payday 2, which is definitely geared more towards mature audiences. But this one's a little different. I think it's one that a lot of people saw coming eventually, because HD Rumble is touted as giving you true-to-life feelings for things like ice cubes and water being dumped into it. But I think we all saw something coming like this where it would be used more for a different type of simulation. So what happened was, yesterday, they also announced a game that I think a lot of people online are probably at least familiar with somewhat with the series, and that's the Senran Kagura series. And this is a game series that came out, became very popular in Japan, had a manga released for it, anime, the whole thing. And if you don't know what this series is, go look it up, because there's a lot of it I just can't show you here on this channel, because it would be flagged or deemed inappropriate for a lot of advertisers. But for the most part, just to give you some kind of context, it does follow a bunch of female ninjas who are generally misproportioned. So I want to show you a quick part of the trailer. Check this out real fast. So yes, the idea here is you can use the HD Rumble to simulate a breast, essentially, what a breast feels like. And I guess at that point, you would be using it in the game for some sort of mini-game. I would hope it's not the main part of the game. It's just like a mini-game you can do. But we had to see this coming. I mean, this was going to be a thing, right? I mean, that's what VR turned into almost instantly, except that gets a lot more in-depth with that kind of stuff. But VR turned into it like instantly, no time at all. So of course, someone was going to do this with HD Rumble. It was just a matter of time. My favorite part of the trailer, though, is this. So I think they even admit just how weird and zany this sounds, and how, honestly, how dumb it probably sounds. So what they do is they're taking advantage of it by a little tongue-in-cheek humor. No, they're not actually in a laboratory somewhere observing Jello or feeling water balloons with the Joy-Con in their other hand. I think this was just some humorous jokes here. I don't think they're actually doing that, but it does kind of give us the idea here that maybe the Switch is not as childish as what a lot of people are saying it is. I mean, Nintendo greenlit this project. They didn't just show up at the Nintendo Direct, film themselves, and put themselves on Nintendo's channel. This is all done by Nintendo as well, so they have to know that this is definitely a mature audience game. It's going to be rated mature, right? I mean, you can't release a game like this, I assume, to like a teen rating. So it's going to be mature rated more than likely, and it's definitely geared more towards the adult audience. I think that's pretty obvious. And it's interesting because this is going in a different way than, again, other Nintendo consoles, because they are more than happy, it seems, to just put games on there in general. Either way, I watched this trailer and I did laugh pretty hard, and I just kind of threw my hands up and said, well, yeah, it's gonna happen. I mean, it is only in Japan from what I can tell now, but keep in mind, the Switch is region free, so there's nothing stopping you from getting it and popping it in your Switch and playing it, except for the barrier of if you don't know Japanese and if there's no English language option. It may be a little harder to play, although I guess as long as you just want to do that mini game, you can probably access it pretty quick. I assume that mini game will be something you play for 10, 15 minutes and then kind of stop and be bored of it, but who knows, maybe they actually incorporate it into the game in some way where it's, I don't know, part of a special move or something, I'm not sure. But it's very funny nonetheless. The trailer I'll leave in the description for you guys, so you can just check out the entire trailer if you'd like, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I think it's pretty funny. I don't think it's going to, it's not going to be a very popular game. I think it'll just be something people look at and say, oh, that's pretty funny. You can use the Joy-Con to simulate what boobs feel like. But outside of that, I hope the game itself is good from there. I know the other games are fairly popular, especially in Japan. So hopefully it doesn't turn the game into kind of a joke and we all go, hey, remember that one game where you could use the Joy-Cons and simulate what a boob feels like? hopefully it doesn't turn into that type of game and it actually is a good game. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I will see you next time.